And Corla. There are times when mere words just seem futile, and this is one of them. If we think of the millions of words that have been spoken, that have been written, that have been screamed or whispered in agony about the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, those words seem to have evaporated and they just hold no weight. If we think of the billions of words used to negotiate one peace effort after another, one UN resolution after another for so many years, to no effect, they too have disappeared. Yet here tonight, I suppose words are all we have at our disposal. And despite our feeling helpless, we must never be hopeless. And despite the rage and fury at the never-ending cycle of violence, we have to choose our words carefully. Not to inflame, but to dampen down, not to attack, but to defend and protect in any way we can the innocent people on both sides who find themselves in this maelstrom of horror and terror. Tonight we are speaking to a government motion and a number of amendments. I support this motion because I believe it is balanced. Some of the amendments might refine it in a more positive way, in particular those amendments from Duncan Smith. But the motion as it stands, I think, seeks to apportion blame where it should and responsibility for further actions where it should, in a strong, straightforward way, with the protection of innocent civilians as its core objective. I am proud that Ireland has echoed the call of the UN Secretary-General for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. That, alongside the unconditional release of all hostages, might provide some grounds to avoid a humanitarian disaster and avoid a wider war, because the dogs of war are straining at the leash. There are those, not just on both sides of this conflict, but on many sides, who would walk us straight into the terror. And we, by any words we have or any actions we take, must do everything to avoid that. In the context of words that should not be spoken, I want to share my disappointment and real annoyance at Ursula von der Leyen and the Hungarian ambassador, whose words were most damaging. And my final words are to remind people that the Gaza Strip is about a quarter the size of County Leitrim, with 65 times its population. Any bombing or land invasion in Gaza would be unconscionable, and I call on our friends in the US to do all in their power to avoid this.
Deputy Joan Collins.